Married? The king and queen both asked. How can a man who is mentally deranged at the moment get married in such states, and more so to a blind woman? They asked again. Blind Ijeoma and mad Prince Ekene held themselves in each other's arms while Ijeoma cried and Prince Ekene smiled. Welcome to Iyagba's Epic Tales. The title of today's story is The Mad Prince and the Blind Girl Who Got Married. Once upon a time in a village, there lived a girl called Ijeoma. Ijeoma lives with her aunt, who also had a daughter who is of the same age as Ijeoma. The name of her aunt's daughter was Adanna. Both Adanna and Ijeoma were very beautiful maidens. One day, Ijeoma and Adanna were on their way back from the bush where they had gone to fetch some firewood, when suddenly Adanna got bitten by a deadly snake. Adanna let out a loud cry and screamed in pain. Ijeoma, in a fearful and confused state, tried to help her cousin. She tore a piece of cloth from the one she had placed on her head to support the firewood she was carrying and tied it around Adanna's leg, where the snake had bitten her. But Adanna was still in so much pain and was losing consciousness. Ijeoma decided to suck out the poison. As she bent low and was about to do so, she felt a hand touched her and pulled her away. Ijeoma raised her head and saw 3 young men standing behind her. One of the men was holding some leaves. He squeezed the leaves against his palm for some few seconds and then applied it on Adanna's leg, after which he tore another piece of cloth and used it as a bandage around the leg. The young man beckoned on one of the other men who had come with him to help him carry Adanna. They carried Adanna while Ijeoma thanked the young man amidst gentle sobs for saving her cousin. Moments later, they got to the king's palace, and that was when Ijeoma learnt that the young man who had helped them was the prince, and the men who were with him were his personal guards. No wonder he looked different and well dressed than the other two, Ijeoma thought to herself. Prince Ekene had been in the city and away from the village for some years due to studies and had only just returned, and so not everyone in the village knew him, especially the young folks. Before returning to his father's kingdom, Prince Ekene had spent some time with his maternal grandmother, who was also his favorite. His maternal grandmother was a herbalist who is skilled in numerous herbs and remedies. Prince Ekene had learnt about a few remedies and herbs during his visits, and that was how he was able to know what herb to use to weaken the effects of the snake bite, while taking a stroll that afternoon and had witnessed the whole scene with Ijeoma and Adanna from afar. Some hours later, Adanna was awake and well. She and Ijeoma returned home after thanking the prince. Adanna stopped going to the bush to fetch firewood for fear of being attacked by another deadly crawling animal, leaving only Ijeoma to go to the bush alone. As the days went by, Prince Ekene and Ijeoma grew closer as he was always at the farm with her. He would always come to keep her company and help her gather some firewood, for he had fallen in love with her right from the first day he set his eyes on her, and seeing how selfless she was by trying to suck out the poison from her cousin's leg, not minding her own life. Soon, Ijeoma also fell helplessly in love with Prince Ekene. One day, out of excitement and seeing that it was time for her cousin and her aunt to know, Ijeoma told her aunt and her cousin about her relationship with Prince Ekene, but she was met with a negative reaction from them as they both chorused, "No way." What she had not known was that Adanna, her cousin, had also fallen in love with the prince after he had saved her. She had told her mother, and they had both looked forward to the day Adanna would be the prince's bride. Prince Ekene decided that it was time also to officially introduce Ijeoma to his parents as the woman he wants to marry. On the day he was to take Ijeoma to his parents, that morning, Ijeoma woke up but discovered that all she could see was only thick darkness. Everyone told her that it was day already and everywhere was bright, but she could see nothing. Ijeoma was taken to the village herbalist, who confirmed that Ijeoma has gone blind. He applied different herbs on Ijeoma's eyes, but none of it worked. Ijeoma could not believe that she was blind. She wept uncontrollably. Prince Ekene also tried few herbs, but it all yielded no results. Prince Ekene decided to go ahead and introduce Ijeoma to his parents, who opposed the union as they cannot have their son marry a blind woman. One morning, whilst Prince Ekene was in his room preparing to take Ijeoma to the city to look for a solution to her blindness, a dark shadow fell on him and he became mad instantly. Many medicine men were invited from within the village and from other neighboring villages, but none could heal Prince Ekene. Even his grandmother and her few friends who were medicine people could not help him. Ijeoma learnt of Prince Ekene's condition from the neighbors, but nobody wanted to take her to the prince when she requested that they lead her to the palace for fear of what the king might do to them. Every day, Prince Ekene would scream uncontrollably and break the chains he was bound with as he calls out for Ijeoma. After doing that for so many weeks, his grandmother pleaded that the king allow him see Ijeoma. Who knows, seeing Ijeoma might calm him down, the grandmother said. And true to her words, Prince Ekene became calm immediately he set his eyes on Ijeoma. Blind Ijeoma and mad Prince Ekene held themselves in each other's arms while Ijeoma cried and Prince Ekene smiled. It was indeed a sight to behold, as everyone present had never witnessed such love and bond before. A medicine man who was also around at the time called on the king and queen and advised that they get Prince Ekene and Ijeoma married immediately, as that was the solution to cure them both, as it has just been revealed to him by the gods. Married? The king and queen both asked. How can a man who is mentally deranged at the moment get married in such states, and more so to a blind woman? They asked again. If you want your son well and happy again, you will do as the gods have said, the medicine man told them. And so, the king organized the marriage ceremony of his son. The whole village began to gossip as to how a mad prince was going to get married. Adanna and her mother advised Ijeoma not to accept the marriage proposal. How would you spend your life with a madman and be called a madman's wife? They said. But Ijeoma loved Prince Ekene so much and was willing to make any sacrifice to make him well again, which Adanna and her mother were unaware of. The day of the marriage ceremony came, and immediately all the marriage rites were performed and they were both declared as husband and wife. Ijeoma's eyes opened. She screamed excitedly that she could see. And as more people drew closer to Ijeoma, the invisible dark shadow which was upon Prince Ekene was lifted, and he also became well and sane. Everyone was excited except for Adanna and her mother, who tried to sneak away quietly. But before they could go unnoticed, Ijeoma suddenly started displaying acts of lunacy and saying so many words at a time, while her mother became blind also. The whole crowd stood still as the mother and daughter confessed to being the ones behind Ijeoma and Prince Ekene's condition. Adanna revealed that she and her mother made Ijeoma blind so that Prince Ekene would not marry her. But because Prince Ekene was insistent and decided to go ahead with the marriage, they decided to punish him and made him mad also, as they had vowed in their hearts that if Adanna could not have the prince, then no other woman would. It was evident that the coming together of Prince Ekene and Ijeoma as a union had broken the spell and power of the black magic. The blind mother and her mad daughter was banished from the village and warned never to return. The blind mother managed to drag her mad daughter with her, but immediately they stepped out of the village, Adanna was bitten by a snake, and because her mother was blind and helpless, Adanna died few hours later. Days later, her mother also died of a broken heart. Meanwhile, Prince Ekene and Ijeoma remained married and lived happily ever after. A notable lesson from this story is that jealousy and malice can lead to tragic consequences. The narrative underscores the destructive power of envy and ill intentions, ultimately resulting in Adanna's demise and her mother's sorrow. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story. Did you learn anything from this story? I would like to know. Please share in the comment section below. Thank you for watching. See you in our next video. Bye.